The visuals on the screen are of the Kuki-Zo community protesting at different places across their dominated region in the hills today. Why has this fresh Kuki-Zo demonstration erupted amidst the ongoing violence? On the early morning of July 9, 3 individuals from the Kuki-Zo community were arrested by a combined team of security forces, including CRPF and state forces, at El Hingzol village under New Kaithilmanbi police station in Kampokpi district. The security forces claimed the trio to be active members of a Kuki militant group involved in various terror activities. The trio were also said to have been apprehended with some sophisticated weapons. However, the security forces' accusations were blatantly rebuffed by the Kuki-Zo community, claiming that the trio were only village volunteers guarding the villages and villagers in the region amidst the ongoing violence, and that they were not members of any underground groups or related to any militant outfit. The Kuki-Zo groups also alleged that the security forces, under the guise of a combing operation, indiscriminately attacked the residents of Tonghen Haukip, the chief of El Hingzol village, by firing more than 200 rounds of live bullets, forcefully breaking doors and damaging properties, including the chief's house. The security forces injured several women who confronted them about their unprovoked actions, creating terror and fear psychosis among the innocent Kuki-Zo community and their village volunteers, in particular, alleged the Kuki-Zo groups. The Kuki-Zo community considered the arrest part of a targeted campaign against their community, which has been experiencing ongoing violence and unrest. They also feel the attack on one of their village chiefs is a challenge and subjugation of the highest authority of the Kuki tribes, that is, chieftainship. They view the aggression and unprovoked assault on Kuki-Zo community members, regardless of their gender and age, as a blatant violation of human rights and an affront to the principles of justice and humanity. The incident, which the Kuki-Zo community considered to further fuel their sense of injustice and discrimination, led to widespread protests, a response to what they perceived as systematic bias and oppression by the authorities, exacerbating the already tense situation. The Committee on Tribal Unity Cedar Hills, Kampokpi district immediately responded to the incident by serving an ultimatum for the unconditional release of the arrested trio before 5 p.m. on July 9. This led to a massive rally and protest in front of the SP Kampokpi office, following the expiry of the ultimatum without any response from the authorities concerned. The Kuki Inpi Manipur showed a strong response to the incident by announcing a 12-hour total shutdown on July 10 from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., leading to widespread protests in all Kuki-Zo dominated regions, including Churachandpur, Lamka, More, Kampokpi, and others on July 10. In Kampokpi, the Kuki Inpi Cedar Hills organized a massive sit-in protest at Vengpi in Kaithilmanbi military colony, protesting the alleged gross injustice and targeted atrocities meted out to the Kuki-Zo people. Let's see what Kuki Inpi Cedar Hills President Thangmilian Kipgen talked about during the protest.
Today, the 10th July 2024, the Kuki-Zo population of Cedar Hills Kampokpi district, we have assembled here in Kaithilmanbi military colony, organized sit-in protest against the atrocities targeted towards Kuki-Zo volunteers organized by Kuki Inpi Cedar Hills. The mission today was to send a message, firstly, to the central government that we do not appreciate this selected targeting of central forces and agencies amongst the Kuki-Zo population. We have seen it, we have been witness. There are social media videos everywhere where the Arambai Tengol members and its leaders, namely Korunganba, the commander, and Robin, where they are seen proudly brandishing sophisticated weaponry, snatched from state armories, where they have been till today roaming about freely within the city Imphal. In spite of NIA having issued warrants against them, they are still found to be roaming freely. They are still found to be proclaiming lots of agendas and propagandas on social media. Yet, the central forces seems to remain inactive, or rather incapacitated, to apprehend or to arrest such miscreants based in Imphal Valley. But on the other hand, when reports reach the central government as to the movement of certain Kuki village volunteers, they are very quick, they are very apt, they are very fast in nabbing these Kuki-Zo volunteers. So we wish to point out to the central government that this kind of selected targeting of the Kuki-Zo volunteers is not appreciated by the Kuki NP, and we have today started showing our resentment by peaceful sit-in protests. But if this kind of targeted lynching or targeted arresting of Kuki-Zo volunteers continues, there will be other forms of protests being initiated by Kuki NP. Secondly, we also wish to show our village volunteers, the Kuki-Zo village volunteers, that the general public is always behind them. We will always stand behind them. We will ensure that yesterday's incident would be the last of its kind, that the general public will always stand behind them so that they do not face such kind of partial and targeted arrests by the central agencies.
In Churachandpur, Lamka, a similar protest was also held. See what the Kuki Women Organization for Human Rights President Ngaine Kim talked about during the protest.
As I am from the Kuki Women Organization for Human Rights, we strongly condemn the act and atrocities in Paitol Village, Jiribam district, where one house was burned down just at the presence of the security forces, and two innocent boys were arrested by the security forces. And the KWHR also strongly condemns the incident that happened at El Kemjol village, where the house of the chief was totally dismantled and the house was totally vandalized by the security forces, where 3 of our village volunteers were arrested by the security forces. The Arambai Tengol, the Meitei Lipuns were freely roaming just within the capital of Manipur, and they are termed as the village volunteers. Nothing is done to them, but to our village volunteers, whenever they find it easy or whenever they find it the time, the security forces keep on arresting our boys and charging them in different kinds of cases. But today, I would like to speak out to the whole world that they are not doing nothing against the central government as well as the state government. They are just our village volunteers. They are guarding the village. They are safeguarding our boundary. That's all.
In the strife-riven border town of Moreh, a similar protest was organized under the aegis of the Hill Tribal Council, HTC. Let's see what the HTC President, Kaikholal Haukip, talked about during the protest.
We strongly condemn the high-handedness, the communal work of the state forces, and we also condemn strongly the atrocities on the innocent women and children, and even our village volunteers who are simply trying to protect the helpless villagers. Strongly denounce the inhumanly act upon our people in Jiribam and Kangpopi district. And in all the districts, this peaceful sit-in protest is conducted, and likewise in More also, which is the Kuki-Zo people inhabited town. We urge the Indian government to stop conducting operation on our people rather than conducting operation and controlling the Arambai Bengal.
In the strife-torn New Kaithil-Manbi region bordering Jiribam, the Kuki-Zo community also held a similar protest.
Center Force State Force Fight all Kwa Operation Nabol Nava Nume Tunga Kunatao he Kanobla Wahi Jule Tapang Koyalo Mi Namanutu Kinta Nayung Lapelo Kanobla Diwahi Anina Nango Nom Junguba Ipidinga Kaino Nahal Sawham No more Ipipatom no Maham Kaluoi Lowe.
The Kuki-Inpi Manipur also submitted a memorandum to the Prime Minister for the safety and security of the Kuki-Zo people. The Kuki apex body appealed to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, highlighting escalating ethnic tensions and persecution of the Kuki-Zo people in Manipur. The memorandum condemns the arrest of 5 Kuki-Zo individuals, citing unequal law enforcement and biased actions by central security forces. The Kuki-Inpi Manipur demands coordination with law enforcement, the release of the arrested, and an end to discriminatory practices. The memorandum also calls for a separate administrative set-up to protect Kuki-Zo rights and ensure peace in the region. The Kuki-Zo groups warned of intensifying their protests if the alleged gross injustice and targeted atrocities persist.